Welcome, Jonah. Glad to have you on the show, man.
It's nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, you're a pro now.
Yes, sir.
How's that feel?
Feels good. Thinking when I was when I was younger, if I was gonna turn pro, it was gonna be this big old deal. But it's pretty much just like a title just to have. Doesn't really change anything, as being a golfer. So sometimes I get caught in being a pro and when I play tournaments, I instead of thinking as an amateur, just having fun, I kind of get into the money kind of conscious, and I'm like, oh God, I need to perform now, otherwise, I'm not gonna make money. Yeah. So it's kind of one thing I've been battling right now, just to try to stay present, don't think future or money reasons and stuff like that. So but I've only been pro for 6 months, so I'm still learning. It's
a transition for sure.
Exactly.
What's that transition been from being a collegiate athlete to maybe not worrying about those things like money and paycheck and surviving to, okay, I'm on the tour, or I'm trying to get on the tour and grinding like that?
It's definitely, not gonna lie, it's definitely been a little harder just because, like I said, just a mental thing. I've never, it's my first time being pro, so just trying to have that same mindset as I did when I was younger, because when I play my best golf, I wasn't thinking about anything except just having fun, playing golf, with buddies, and just having one shot at a time.
Yeah.
But now being a pro, I do tend to have difficult times just staying in that moment opposed to thinking outcome.
Yeah, man. Golf is, we play golf together, and I've loved golf a long time. And the more I play, I think actually any high level sport, I really do think it becomes more mental. And I would think golf, man, what a mental game. So you're up against facing that new part of life. Well, man, I wore my golf shirt for you today.
So did I.
Yeah. All right,
I got my golf.
There we go.
Clothes.
You're ready to go to the course right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
What do you think that transition? Well, what was the difference from going high school to college? Was there any different? And then now we talked about the mental part.
Yeah, actually, when up until I committed, up until 14 and 15, I actually wasn't planning on going to college. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna turn pro as soon as I'm turn 18 or whatever, blah blah blah. So I think that actually really helped me a lot because I would say my best years, I was the number one golfer in California at 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
And I was just destroying everyone, literally, because I had no worries. I was like, I'm not trying to go to college. I'm just gonna And then that's when a lot of college scouts started looking at me, and then they were kind of pushing me toward oh, you should go to college, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then when I was I think I was a sophomore, USC offered me a full ride, and I was like, I mean, all right, I guess I'll take it. So, but yeah, it was and then when that happened, that's when, like I said, the transition from being a pro kind of got in my mind a little bit. It's okay, I actually I'm gonna go to a D1 college. I need to start performing better.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And that's when I kind of went a little downhill from there. Which kind of.
So you got to get back to that mental mind state of when you're a kid playing for the love of the game. Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
It was all love of the game.
Yeah. Awesome. So now with the transition into being a pro, walk us through. Are you still going to school?
No, I'm not.
No, okay. You graduate?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Good for you. In 3 years? Or it took...
3. Yeah. I did some off credits and stuff, but yeah.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
Thank you.
So now with the grind and the trying to get this tour card, what's a regular day look like for you? I mean the hours and daily routine.
Yeah, usually so I play at Braemar, so I usually wake up at 6. Bright and early. I'll go out because Braemar is kind of a little busy with the members. I'll go out there before anyone else. I'll play 18 holes, evaluate what I did wrong, what I did right, and then just kind of go practice those weaknesses that day. And then after I'll go I'll eat lunch or whatever, and then do a little workout, come back out, practice a little more, and then just go home and have a little rest.
Yeah. How many balls do you think you hit a day?
It's a full pyramid.
Okay.
Full pyramid. I think that's around 200.
Okay.
200 balls.
Yeah.
So it's a grind, man. It's a process.
Awesome. Yeah. So where you're at, I mean, the transition and obviously the the ups and downs that I want to talk about in a little bit. But through all of this, I mean, we want to talk about your faith and kind of how do you work on daily staying focused on the Lord?
Yeah. I mean, He's never let me down, obviously. But you know, every time I get in those like slumps where I'm like, man, I got to get up, I got to practice. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I kind of just pray a lot and just tell Him like to give me, you know, that determination and that like that drive to like be the best, because obviously we're here for we're here to spread the word, spread the gospel. It's the main reason why we're here. So like my dream is obviously to be on the PGA Tour and lead and guide as many people as I can to Christ.
That's cool.
So that would be the ultimate goal. So
Yeah.
I just kind of like look at that as like, just like, all right, just, you know, just keep grinding, man. You're like, you literally like made it this far.
Yeah.
You can't stop now. Like, just keep going. He's kind of helped me definitely a lot from that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a goal worth fighting for.
For sure.
That's really cool. Now I know we met. I think you were in high school, and we got paired up. I don't know if you remember. I can't remember the tournament. You remember when first time we played?
I think it was in Porter Ranch.
Okay, might have been.
Yeah, it was in Porter Valley.
And I remember someone. Oh yeah, you got to meet this kid. He's so good. I'm thinking this young kid. Like this kid's not gonna beat me. And how tall are you?
Like 6 feet.
Yeah, so 6 feet. You know, not a huge guy. I'm 6'9". And not that my game is legit at all, but I do hit the ball far.
Yeah, you
and
do.
I'm thinking, no way, this. And here comes this 6 foot guy, probably wasn't 6 foot at the time. And
yeah, I was like 17 or 18.
Yeah, hitting 300-yard plus bombs. That was fun. I knew you were. It was legit. That was fun. It's been fun knowing you and following your career and all that type of stuff. You know, people don't think about this much with golf, but there can only be one winner. You know, and they're in a tournament, in events that you're playing, and there's a lot of disappointments in that.
Yeah.
How do you deal with those disappointments and losses, and you know, only one person can win?
Yeah, usually like I mean, obviously everyone wants to win coming into a tournament, you know, but like for me, my mindset is I just want to like play the best I can be. I'm not trying to like focus, because like sometimes I'll like instead of like trying to just beat the course, I'm like, all right, I want to beat that guy, I want to beat that guy, I want to beat this guy, you know.
Yeah.
But I just like that's why again, just staying the present is so important in golf. You just gotta like have one shot ahead of you, like one shot at a time. Be patient. Do not focus like on anyone else but just yourself. And that's like literally when I play my best golf, is when I just like focus on myself and just trying to beat the course, opposed to like all these other outside things that like can come in, you know.
Yeah.
Because you're playing partners, well, you may not like them, you may like them. And like there's like so many factors in golf that you have to like put in.
Yeah, you can't control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can only control what you can control, which is yourself.
I never look at my score, because if I'm playing well and it's hole 14 and I look at my score, guarantee the last 3 or 4 holes are double bogeys.
No, I'm the same way. Like whenever I get out like on a run, I'm like, oh man, all right.
Yeah.
I kind of just need to like. Then I'm like, I kind of like my play is different, you know, because like I'll be aggressive in the beginning and I'll be like 4, 5, 6 under, and I'm like, oh wow, like what do I do? I should play. I don't want to lose this.
Yeah.
So like I kind of like play more safe.
Yeah.
But like that's not what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. How many football games have been lost because they
of
pulled their foot off the
Of course.
Off the pedal,
and I think that's one thing why like Tiger Woods was so good, because like when he kept going, like he put his foot down harder. Like he wanted to like beat everyone by 20, 30 strokes in like in a tournament.
Yeah.
And that's what he did, because he wasn't afraid of anyone.
Yeah. I find golf to be so much different because it's static, where you know, with basketball or football or any sport, you're continually running. You don't even have time to think about that. So it's such that mental part of it. Yeah.
And it's like the slowest game too. It's like the most patient and the most like mentally frustrating game, which is why it's like I believe it's the hardest sport in the world for sure.
As much as I love golf now, I think back when I was a kid and my dad's like, I should have got you into golf earlier. You're good at this. But I wouldn't have the temperament. I think it really does take the temperament, especially, you know, playing at a young age and things like that. I take my boy out and he has fun smacking some balls, but he's not trying to hit out there and hit a whole pyramid.
Dude, that's pretty funny how you say it, because like when I was like 4, 5, 6, 7, I wrestled at the time. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually was a state champion in Tennessee at 7 years old.
Really?
Yeah. I won the state like what tournament, whatever it was.
Okay.
But golf and wrestling wasn't really a good combination.
Yeah.
So my temperament was literally the worst. Like, yeah, my dad, I remember like one year he pulled me from like a lot of tournaments, like in mid-round, because I would just like throw clubs in trees. Yeah, it was so that's when he told me, he's like, you need to like pick one thing, like you need to pick golf or wrestling or something else, and like you need to stick to it. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just do golf.
Okay.
So, but yeah, like now I really don't get that mad anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of.
When's the last time you threw a club?
It's been a long time.
Okay.
It's been a long time.
I probably threw one in the last 12 months, but you're better than me.
Yeah.
So I know you love sports, you know, and especially your Trojans.
Yeah.
What do you miss about being at school? Like, you know, that the teammates. I know you were close with those guys.
The teammates were literally the best people, man. Teammates were good. The all the resources that they gave us. They coming into SC, like they gave me a laptop, the free laptop. They had like the full access to the underground gym. We get breakfast, lunch every single day for free for the athletes. If you ever need any tutoring, anything like that, they like literally will be on it in a split second, because they just like really were focusing on like athletes and make sure their grades are good so they can compete.
Yeah. So you're cooking your own breakfast now?
Yeah.
That's tough. Okay, so being a sports guy, if you weren't playing golf, what sport do you think you would have pursued?
That's a good question, actually. I'd say my second favorite sport is basketball.
Okay.
I love basketball. I mean, probably would have pursued that. Probably not for height, but like just try to become the quickest little guy.
Yeah. Do you play it all now?
I don't really play. Because like with basketball, it's like if you play, you kind of like you're prone to get an injury. Mm-hmm. So I just do a lot of shooting. I'm a really good 3-point shooter, so I could have probably used that.
Okay. You hit the long ball and you got the 3.
Yeah, a little
nice.
bit.
So you've had some good success on the course. And when you look at a successful athlete, even though we can't see them, we know they have a support team.
Yeah.
And you have a swing coach, you have your parents. I know you got a strong family. You got your friends, like you talked about. You have the university behind you. But outside the game, when we talk about Jonah growing in his faith, who's the person in your life that came alongside you and has impacted your faith and how you pursue God and this vision for wanting to lead people to Christ? Like where'd that come from? Who's the person that behind you?
I would say like, I mean, to be honest, like there's nobody more that's like impacting me more through my faith than Dudley. Because like if it wasn't for my dad to even like come up to Dudley and like tell him like, oh my son's a golfer, blah blah blah, and it turned out that Dudley was a golfer, then like I think that was all part of the plan, the God's plan that like to guide me through. So every time I'm with Dudley, it just like you could just see like how God's impacted him and how close he is with God, and I see that and I'm like, wow, I want that as well. And he's like, because every time we hang out, he's always like just giving me wisdom on God and like what to do in life and stuff. So I definitely would say Dudley has helped me the most, and I'm so happy that
that's really cool. And really, I mean, so for people that don't know, Dudley's the pastor of your church, pastor of my church, and he loves golf. And it's a passion of his, and what a connection that is, through sports. Because I was going to ask, how has sports played a role in your relationship with God? There's a good connection right there, obviously, meeting people. But do you find sports in a way helps you?
I mean, for sure. I would say, okay, this is the most like spiritual thing that's ever happened to me was this was back in 2013. I think I was 17, and I was just about to go to Hawaii for the Junior America's Cup, which is everyone like Phil Mickelson's won it, Tiger Woods has won it. It's when each like golf association, like the Southern California Junior Golf Association, NorCal, a association from every state, they all come together and play this course, and they battle. So it's a team of 4.
Okay.
So it was like a couple days before I was going to go to Hawaii. I was in my room and I had this dream. It was like literally the most like angelical dream. I had a dream that like I was in heaven. I was flying. Like it was the most beautiful scene. Like whatever I thought of, whatever I wanted was just popping like that, like right in front of me. And I was like, this is like the most spiritual. Like I've never had a dream like that in my life. Kids will say, oh, it was a dream that that was just a normal dream, but this was definitely different. And literally, like, when I woke up, I was like on the verge of crying because I was like, wow, this is like, this really opened my eyes. Like, what is to come, you know? So I literally dug my face in the Bible for a week straight leading into the tournament. And then I ended up winning the tournament out of like 120 kids by like 8 strokes. And the fun fact is, I won the Junior America's Cup 2 years before, and I'm the only one ever to win it more than once, beating Tiger and Phil. And
nice. They got nothing on you, man.
Yeah. Not on that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I know we talked about that mental part of it, but I think there's a spiritual part.
Oh, for sure.
Huge, you know, and that's your goal, and I think it's really cool how you keep putting that back to God. I mean, because again, we talked about the disappointment of golf and how often that occurs.
Right.
And I think it's so easy to lose your hope, your you know, in your game.
Yeah.
And but if our hope rests in the Lord, our game will follow where God wants us. That's really cool. All right, so a little fun thing we do. We like to do a little 10 question and answer. Okay, really quick.
Okay.
All right. Front nine or back nine?
Front nine.
Favorite course you've ever played?
Cypress.
Nice. Course you want to play but haven't?
Augusta.
All right, me too. Yeah, us and half the world.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite person to play golf with?
Oh my God. Probably my dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. Most intimidating player you've ever been paired up with?
John Rahm.
All right. Who's that?
He's number 3 in the world right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should have done more research.
Yeah.
Lowest round you've ever shot, practice or tournament?
62.
62.
Yeah.
All right, I shoot that on the front nine. Worst tournament round you ever shot?
Man.
Come on, be honest.
I've shot 100, man. When I was like 8 or 9.
Okay, let's say in college, what's the worst?
In college, 80.
80?
Yeah.
Okay, since you turned pro?
Probably like 78.
All right. You know, I just keep asking you because I want to feel better about my game. So if you, it's good.
Good.
It makes me feel better about myself.
It's all good.
Favorite club you use around the green?
Lob wedge.
Lob wedge. Favorite golfer of all time?
Tiger Woods.
Most important question, last question. Have I ever beat you in a long drive contest?
Yes.
Yes. Good. I love the truthfulness.
Never forget Sandpiper number 12.
Yep. And the only reason is you were OB.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let anybody forget that.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up playing team sports, and after college I took up golf and surfing. And one thing I noticed right away in those sports was the isolation of it. You know, the individual sport. And I love being challenged by that. It was just you know, with basketball and football and baseball that I played, you know, always had a team. There's a team aspect. But I was doing it for fun, you know, playing golf and just kind of competing against myself. I imagine every day is a grind, hitting hundreds of balls and getting up early and sitting over and putting all day. Yeah, I can see in your face.
Hurts.
I know. Yes, I can imagine. How do you stay motivated through all that, you know, in just the grind of what the golf life is?
What really helps me is, I always have like little games in my mind. I like try to like, all right, for putting, I need to make this many putts in order to leave to go to the chipping green. And then the chipping green, I have to make at least 50 up and downs, like in order to finish.
Wow.
Yeah, and like that's literally how I like base everything up. I always have like little like little bets that I have to myself that I have to like achieve in order to advance or like go home.
Yeah. Nice.
So that's the only thing that motivates me.
Okay. They would need lights on the golf course.
Oh, for sure.
I would still be out there.
Oh, man.
Nice. Well, I think you know, spiritually, I think can be the same way. You know, we talking about our relationship with God, and we can often feel alone.
Yeah.
You know, in that. You know, I think we have to be intentional with our faith and the ministry platform, especially that you're going to be growing into here as a professional, and all of a sudden you got people looking up to you and wondering, hey, who is this guy? What's this guy about? We got to put things in place. I think, or the world swallows us up, you know, especially being a young man.
So true.
So what's one thing you do to kind of be proactive, like you're talking about the grind and staying motivated with your game, but what's the one thing you do to be proactive about your relationship with Jesus?
I always like I have this like daily book. I can't man, I don't know why I'm forgetting the book, but it's literally like a daily book where it just like it's like a little like couple paragraphs of God like speaking to you, and I read that every single day, the second I wake up.
Nice.
So it's like a little bit of scripture that I read. That it's not like, you know, people talking. It's literally God talking, like His words, take it from the Bible and put it in every day. So I read that in the morning to motivate me to just, you know, be the best I can be for Him and everything.
Cool. You feel like that, you know, you get out on the course, I think all the people that you come in contact with and that you're being able to affect, I mean.
Yeah, of course, like, because, like, you know, this world is so corrupt now, like it's hard to find, like, another godly person out there. So, when I do find another godly person, like, especially who plays golf, you know, I always, like, try to, like, talk it up and, like, hey, like, how, you know.
Yeah. So what, in the golf world, like, not everyone probably understands that, you know, in the clubhouse and with the guys and going to the course. So what's something you do to try to, like, hey, you know, to establish your faith? And I mean, I know you talk about the platform you want. I want to encourage you, and I think this is one of our Playing for Eternity challenge aspects, is like, you have a platform now, because we can think, oh God, if I get this and I get this, then I will do the things that you want me to do. Where God says, hey, right now, right where you're at, be faithful. So you're a guy trying to get his PGA card. You know, what's one of those things you do to own your ministry right where you're at right now?
Usually, like, my playing partners, I would say, because, like, that's, like, where you have the most talk with people, you know. So we'll be walking down the fairway or whatever. We'll get, like, a little convo going, and, you know, then I'll mention, like, oh yeah, like, you know, God's really helped me with this, and then I kind of just, like, read it, like, what kind of response he's gonna give. And then when he gives, like, oh wow, that's you know, you believe in God too, like, are you Christian? I'm like, yeah, I'm Christian, really. And then that's how, like, the bond gets closer and closer. And but yeah, on the PGA Tour, they even have that. They have, like, this, like, pro thing that, like, all the pros that are really strong with their faith, they all get together and have Bible studies. Before every round. Like, I know, like, Aaron Bally does, Jonathan Bird, a lot of, like, Georgia guys all, like, get together before, like, every tournament. That's cool. And, like, read. But even in college, they had this college golf fellowship that I would go to all the time before the tournament started. And that's where, like, all the other college golfers, everyone has the opportunity to come, like, in the hotel, and the lead guy would talk about, you know, the scripture and stuff like that. So I could see, like, oh wow, I didn't know, like, you know, he's Christian too, like, blah blah blah, like, and even, like, coaches would come up too and talk. Cool. And I'm like, that is So then I'm like, now I know who to talk to and stuff, you know. So
that's great. Really that's great. Well, keep owning that, man, because that's something. I mean, not only, you know, knowing who those guys are and being in the trenches with those guys for that ministry, but you also know the guys that aren't. I mean, it's usually pretty easy, and saying, hey, I'm gonna befriend those guys. I'm gonna be, you know, separating yourself and letting God just shine through. Your game's giving you an opportunity, but God's gonna shine through you. So man, just keep encouraging you to do that. So as we wrap up, the one thing we're doing this season is, and you kind of hit on it, like, you know who these other professional athletes are in your world, in your sport. And so what we're doing is we're asking all our guests this season to nominate or put us on to somebody else that's a professional athlete that is playing for Jesus. So we want to bring them on the show. And so we can hear and see how far our relationship, like you're talking about, you know these guys, and there's this web of guys through the PGA Tour, and even guys through Q School and all that type of stuff that are trying to play golf professionally, but also love the Lord. So we'd love to hear and just kind of see how that trickles down, and who everyone knows. It's kind of going to be a fun thing. So you got somebody to turn us on to?
Ooh, let's see. Who do I have? I'm trying to think of, like, who is, like, in California. Yeah.
We can do it over the phone or a computer. You know, someone you know could connect us with that, you know, they're really living out their faith in their game.
I would say Dylan, my friend Dylan Wu. He actually just made final stage. Cool. In Q School, and I think he actually finished pretty well. He finished top 80, and he got like a couple starts on the web. But he's really strong with his faith too.
All right.
He just finished up at Northwestern. Really good buddy of mine. We went to London last year for the British Am. He stayed with me for 2 weeks. Really, really like most down to earth guy you'll ever meet.
Very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
He's an awesome guy.
All right, Dylan, we're coming for you. Jonah, thanks for being on the show, man.
Thank
I
you so
wish you
much.
the best of luck. Excited to continue to watch you and grow and keep grinding, man. Just know that you got people out there praying for you, supporting you, and I know you're going to do great, man.
Thank you so much,
All right,
Josh.
you bet. Good job, man.
Thanks, brother. That was
You're a pro.